everyone, welcome back to Mind Matters with Dr. Gochukwu Ojiako. The launching of our introductory video was a great success. Thank you for your comments, support, and for subscribing to the channel. In the last video, I mentioned that we will be exploring what discrimination against individuals with mental illness looks like. So today we'll be discussing the discrimination, stigma, and prejudice that are associated with mental illness. It would be helpful to first understand the meanings of these words. So what exactly is stigma? Cambridge Dictionary defines stigma as a strong feeling of unfair disapproval that most people in a society have about something. The word unfair is used here because the disapproval is not justified. So in other words, stigma often arises from lack of understanding, probably due to circulating misleading information. Prejudice, according to Oxford Dictionary, is a preconceived opinion that is not based on reason or actual experience. While discrimination is the unfair or prejudicial treatment of people and groups based on characteristics such as race, gender, age, sexual orientation, or in this case, mental health status. I would like to briefly talk about the different types of stigmas that exist and their negative impacts on individuals with mental illness. According to the American Psychiatric Association, there are three types of stigmas, namely public stigma, self-stigma, and institutional stigma. Public stigma involves people's negative or biased attitudes about mental illness. When this kind of stigma exists, you hear people make comments like individuals with mental illness are incompetent, they are unpredictable, they are to be blamed for their disorders. Self-stigma refers to the negative attitudes, including internalized shame that people with mental illness have about their disorders due to the stigma surrounding mental illness. This can lead to feelings of inadequacy, incompetency, self-blame, inferiority complex, and low self-esteem. Of course, the feeling of inadequacy causes low self-esteem and low motivation. So people experiencing this kind of stigma will make comments like, why am I even trying? No one cares, not even my family, not my community. All this lead to progressive worsening of psychiatric symptoms. Institutional stigma is a systemic issue that involves policies of government and private organizations that restrict opportunities for individuals with mental illness, either by accident or by design. An example of this type of stigma is decreased funding for mental illness research or fewer mental health services relative to other healthcare services. Prejudice and discrimination cause hopelessness and shame in those that are already struggling to cope with their mental health diagnosis or their symptoms. This creates serious barrier to diagnosis and treatment. Some of the negative effects or impacts of stigma and discrimination are hopelessness, low self-esteem, loss of interest in previously enjoyed activities, difficulties with socializing or interacting with others, work-related difficulties, social isolation, reluctance to seek help and less likely to stay with treatment, decreased opportunity for school, socializing, and even having trouble finding housing. So how can we help to fight stigma? As the popular saying goes, Rome was not built in a day. However, individually and as a society, we can start to contribute positively towards this great cause. The National Alliance on Mental Illness suggests that some of the ways we can help to reduce stigma of mental illness are by discussing mental illness openly. and disseminating accurate information on social media. Research has shown that not discussing mental illness openly make people uncomfortable to talk about their mental illness or their struggles with mental illness. This perpetuates stigma. We can also fight stigma by educating ourselves and others. This can be done by gently responding to misperceptions or negative comments made by other people by sharing facts and experiences. We can help fight stigma by sharing our struggles with mental illness or our experiences with helping people cope with their diagnosis. We should endeavor to use every available opportunity to educate those that may have been misinformed. We can fight stigma by encouraging equality between physical and mental illness, by drawing comparison to how people would treat someone with cancer or diabetes. A mental illness is a disease, just like high blood pressure and diabetes. So if we do not stigmatize against individuals with this diagnosis, why should we discriminate against those with mental illness diagnosis? Let's start showing compassion for those with mental illness. Please, let's treat everyone with love and respect and dignity like we would love to be treated. The pandemic has negatively impacted many of us. It may have slowed down, but many, including healthcare workers, are still struggling with the aftermath of COVID-19. So let's be nice to people. A hug will always go a long way. Let's start being honest about treatment. Normalize mental health treatment, just like other healthcare treatments. We can fight stigma by freely sharing that we are seeing a therapist or a psychiatrist. After all, we openly talk about our appointments with our primary care providers. So why not? Let's start choosing empowerment over shame by encouraging and supporting others to get help. We can empower people by listening and interacting with them without being judgmental. You do not have to be a professional to empower others. Just listen if you do not know what to say. However, you can also empower someone by saying things like this while you're listening. Thanks for opening up to me. Is there anything I can do to help? I am sorry to hear that. It must have been rough for you. I am here for you when you need me. Finally, let's start being aware of our attitudes and behaviors and their impact on other people. This involves examining your judgmental thinking, reinforced by upbringing and the society, and educating yourself on facts and how to change preconceived opinions about individuals with mental illness. If you or someone you know is experiencing a medical or mental health emergency, please call 911. You can also call the crisis line number 866-903-3787, or you can go to the nearest emergency room for treatment. Our email address is in the description. Please feel free to send us general questions. We will randomly select questions to be addressed in our future videos. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with your friends and families. Thanks for watching. I am Dr. Ogochukwu Ojiako. Thank you.